What is a pointer? Can the address of the variable be a floating point number? And lastly, what is the advantages and disadvantages of a pointer? Let's try to understand these topics in our today's video. Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Link Frequency and I'm Aishwarya Pattar. This video is part of our course that is C Programming for Absolute Beginners 2022. So without any further delay, let's get started. A pointer is basically a derived data type. A pointer is a variable that stores the address of another variable. It is called pointer because it points to a particular memory location by storing the address of that location. When a pointer is declared, it basically stores a garbage value. That is, it may point to any value in the memory. There are two types of operators used in pointers. That is, address operator, that is ampersand, and indirection or dereference operator, that is asterisk. Moving on to our next question, that is, can a variable, that is address of a variable, hold a floating point number? Well, the answer is no. The address of a variable is always a whole number. Therefore, the pointer variable will always hold a whole number irrespective of data type of the pointer. There are a few more additional points to discuss related to pointers. Let's move on to our screen. I hope my screen is visible. The first point is regarding the syntax of pointer. It is very simple to declare a pointer, that is, you can see on the screen we have data type, asterisk, followed by the pointer name. Let us consider a simple example, that is int asterisk pointer data. This is one of the examples. There can be multiple examples like float asterisk pointer data, char asterisk pointer data, and so on. Let's move on to our second point, that is representation of a pointer. The diagram represents the simple representation of a pointer wherein we have a pointer and a variable. Here, the variable holds a value and the pointer holds the address. The address is nothing but the address of the variable. To make it more clear, let me take an example. So, I have a variable that is data num, and data num has a value 3. And this particular variable is stored in 1000th memory location. Now, let's move on to other pointer. The pointer stores the address of another variable basically. So here our another variable is nothing but the data num. So data num has an address of 1000, so that value is stored in pointer. And where the pointer is stored in the memory is at the 2000th location. So in short, you can say that pointer is a variable that basically stores the address of another variable. Now let's move ahead to understand what are the usages of a pointer. A pointer in C is basically used in arrays, functions, structures so that it reduces the code size and also increases the performance of the program. A pointer is also used in dynamic memory allocation. That is, we can dynamically allocate memory using calloc and malloc function. Now let's move ahead to understand the advantages and disadvantages of pointer. Firstly, starting with the advantages of pointer. Pointer provides direct access to memory. It reduces the storage space and complexity of the program. It allows us to perform dynamic memory allocation or deallocation. It also allows us to resize the dynamically allocated memory block. Pointers can be used to build complex data structures like linked list, queues, stack, trees, etc. Pointer also provides an alternative way or method to access the array elements. Finally, let's move on to understand the disadvantages of pointers. Pointers are a little complex to understand. Uninitialized pointers can lead to segmentation fault. Pointers are generally slower than normal variables. If a pointer is updated with an incorrect value, then it will lead to memory corruption. Dynamically allocated memory should be freed up explicitly, otherwise it will lead to memory leak. So these were few points related to pointers. Now let's understand related to pointers in a more better way with help of an example. Let's move on to our screen. Here we have followed the basic rule, that is the documentation and the main function as per our previous videos. Going forward, we have int data num, where I have taken a variable, and then int star ptr. This is a pointer of integer type, and then I'm going to collect the input from the user. What is the value for the variable from the user using this printf and scanf statements. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to store the address of the variable in ptr. So that is the reason I'm using ampersand symbol here. So ampersand data num, the address will be stored in PTR. There are few of the printf statements which will help us to understand the pointer concept in more detail. So let me see into the first printf statement. The first printf statement is very simple. You're directly data nums, in whatever the input was given to data num, you're going to represent it through our printf statement. So other way to represent the value of that variable is through star PTR. So star is used to give the output, basically the value of the pointer whose address it is storing basically. So here the address we are storing is of data num. So whatever value is there at data num's location, that value will be reflecting using the star PTR. And the next third printf statement is to have the address of the variable, where exactly our variable is stored. For that you can directly give PTR. Since if you see in line number 21, we had mentioned PTR is equal to ampersand of data num. So it will have the address. So you can directly use PTR, or the other method you can see in printf number 4, that is you can directly mention ampersand data num. And the last printf statement is used to represent the address of the pointer. So far in 3 and 4 printf statements, we saw what is the address of that variable where our value is stored. But where our pointer is stored, that address we can fetch through ampersand PTR. Now let me run this code and let's see the results. Okay, I will have to give the input. Let me give input 3. So you can see the results as follows. The first printf statement is giving the value of data num, which I had entered as 3. And the second printf statement is also giving the value of our variable, that is 3, because we are using star PTR. And the third printf statement will give us the address of the variable as represented here. And even the fourth printf also will give us the address of the variable. And lastly, the fifth printf statement will give us the address of the pointer. So this is the address of the pointer. So this was a very simple example to help us understand pointers. In our today's video, we understood about pointers, the syntax and the advantages, disadvantages along with an example. For any queries, you can surely comment down in the comment section. Your queries will be answered as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching our video. I hope you could enjoy the video content. Consider subscribing to our channel Link Frequency, and also don't forget to share our videos across all your connections. Until we meet on our next video, happy learning. Tune yourself to make a difference.